second part of the video.
What's up, guys? This is our second part of bullying, on the bullying topic. We just finished up talking about how if people don't like you for who you are, then you shouldn't like them at all, or you shouldn't change you shouldn't change yourself for other people or for popularity or something. You should just stay who you are, like be true to yourself.
And that's very important because, like I said, I got a comment the other day, or at least in part one, I talked about. I got a comment the other day saying if she likes somebody and she should change whoever she wanted, if she should change herself to like that person. And I said no, because it's like, that's a very rough topic to talk about, because a lot of people want to change because they really like this person and they feel like they have feelings for them, and then it ends up going wrong, and then they're even more hurt at the end.
Yeah, no, like a lot of the times, especially boys in my age, around like middle school and high school, it's a weird time because there will be like the popular kids, and people want to change themselves to be like them. And you should always just stick to who you are on the inside, because that's the best, and
that's the best you.
Yeah, and you're unique and you're your own self. So don't try to change yourself to be somebody else, somebody who you're not. Just stick to like your style of clothes, your style of what you do with your hair or whatever. Just stick to what you do, and try to get friends who like you because of that. And then you'll just surround yourself with people like that, and you'll probably feel better about yourself rather than trying to fit yourself in with a bunch of people who don't care, who aren't like you, especially.
One of the things I was going to mention, actually I had two things to mention in part one, but we ran out of time. One of them was bullying can take a turn on people, and I've known multiple people like this, and I still know multiple people like this. And there's multiple people who think that hurting themselves is the solution to it, as in cutting. If you guys don't,
or like self-harm or stuff like that.
Cutting, self-harm, and
it's definitely not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I've found multiple people in our school, even at our age, and we're 12 and 13, and we're 13, right? Mm-hmm. And the like one time in gym, I'm not gonna say her name, but I was sitting next to this person. It was a few months ago, like before the end of school, and I saw these like scars on her arms, like running down her arms by her wrists and stuff like that. And I knew what that meant because I'd never seen anybody that did that, but I knew what it meant. And I asked about it later, and she was like, "Yeah, I've been doing it for a couple of weeks and stuff like that." And that's never the answer. I mean, eventually, if you guys don't know, I'm not trying to act like all parents on this video, because we're not your parents. We're your friends here on this channel. But seriously, that can lead. I don't know if you guys know how bad that is for your health. Having things like that can lead to infections in your arm, which can eventually, and this has happened to people before, make you disabled in that arm.
You can cut your one of the most things for suicide is people accidentally cut their wrists.
Yeah. And
it drains the blood in the veins here, and that could kill you. And then think about a lot of people do that because they're like, oh, people won't care about me, nobody loves me and stuff. But on the inside, people actually do. Your family and your mom and your dad, it may not seem like it sometimes, but they really do. They're really just looking out for you, and your friends and stuff, they're really just looking out for you because they care that much about you.
Yeah. And things like this, let's just take one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best comedians and best actors ever, in the world, Robin Williams. He was amazing. He was one of the biggest inspirations in my life for comedy and for skits and stuff like that. And he was going through a rough time in his life. That just scared the crap out of me. He was going through a rough time in his life, and if you guys didn't already know, he committed suicide he went to his closet and he hung himself, and then when that attempt didn't work, he cut his wrist. That is not, I'm not trying to say that what he did was wrong for his thing, but that is not the answer for whatever. He was going through a tough time, and he left a note that said that. And if you're ever thinking about writing a suicide note, you need to throw that pen away, rip up the paper, throw it away, and go into the closest person you possibly can, and just give them a hug or ask them to talk to you and stuff like that. Because what he did was, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was not smart idea. He had many people, and it was because of people who online were giving him crap because they thought that he did a bad job in this movie, or they thought that he wore the wrong outfit today, or something like that. It's just stupid reasons like that. People whose jobs are to go on there and hate you online, and it's saddening. And if you guys ever thinking about, and that's what led him to, kill himself. But if you guys ever think about cutting or anything like that, please just don't. Please come watch somebody on YouTube that makes you laugh. It doesn't have to be us. It can be anybody you want that just
like
makes
a
you laugh.
popular person, or like an unpopular person, or a friend, or somebody.
Yeah, call somebody. Just surround yourself in happiness. And if you guys are dealing with depression, I know this isn't a depression video. This is a bullying video, but it definitely helped. Actually, they sort of correspond, as in bullying can lead to having depression, and other subjects like that. But definitely just not deal with it, but don't try to fake a smile when you wouldn't really put one on. If you're thinking about faking being happy at school or something in front of your parents, and then you're gonna go up into your room and cut or something like that, don't fake a smile. Make sure that people know. Frown, be sort of down in the dumps that day. Sometimes that helps, is just to have a down day to yourself. Just to relax.
Or just go off somewhere and just let all your feelings out. It doesn't mean angrily. It just means talk
breathe.
To yourself, or just sometimes people just go somewhere and they just cry for 10 minutes and then they feel better after that.
I know some people just go into if you have an open field next to you, next to your house, or if you live on a farm, a lot of people go into an open field and just lay there.
Yeah, just sit and
just close their eyes and enjoy the fresh air. And if you're religious like I am, and I'm pretty sure AJ is too.
You didn't know? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about strongness of religion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a strong Christian. I will call myself a Christian. I'm trying to get back into going to church more, but I haven't gone to church or anything like that in 6 years. You couldn't ask me one thing about the Bible that I would be able to answer correctly. And that's a bad thing, but I just don't consider myself, one of the best Christians. And that's just who I am. I mean, I don't focus on religion much. I don't, I'm not going to say I don't care about it, but, And it's just, I feel like now that I've been going to church, I've been praying a lot more. And, we have praying sessions every single Wednesday at that youth group. And the other night, I was thinking about, I just couldn't, because once I see a scary movie or I do a scary thing with a ghost, like Charlie, I laughed at that, but that night I could not sleep. I was because I sleep in a dark room, and it's a very old house, so there's a bunch of creaks in it and stuff like that, and I could not sleep that night, the night before, on Tuesday night, and I was scared, and I kept on, thinking that when I opened my eyes, there was going to be, a girl in, a white dress behind me covered in, those type of things, and I that's just who I am. I'm scared of those type of things, and, I went to church the next day, and I prayed. I said, tonight, can you help me get rid of all the devilish things that are in my mind and get rid of them all? And sure enough, I slept perfectly. I remember that night I even said Charlie, and I thought about all those things, and they just didn't scare me anymore. I was just fine.
If you are religious, it is good to pray, and you probably know that. But if you're not, that you're still it doesn't matter. You still need to talk to somebody. Religious people find God and Jesus and stuff as a best friend. And if you're not religious, you can find yourself you can go to a best friend, or you can go to a family member and you could talk to them and ask them for help or what they would do. And I know a few people who go on who go online to Facebook and stuff, go on groups, and they talk to each other, and they make themselves feel at home and feel friendly, and it's a good community. And if you're feeling scared, or you're being bullied, or you're being hurt in some way, or you're hurting yourself, you need to talk to somebody, because talking is one of the best things somebody can you can do for yourself. A lot of people are oh, I don't want to talk about it, but if you talk about it, it actually helps you more than just bottling up your emotions, because that's actually really unhealthy, and it could hurt you in a lot of ways. It can give you like panic attacks and stuff and anxiety attacks because you're afraid of what's gonna happen and stuff like that. So if I were being bullied, I would definitely go and talk to one of my friends or my family and just try to help myself, because that's the best thing you can do. Just go talk to someone and try to put yourself around people who love you and who care about you, because that's the best kind of people. Like, that's the people you need in your life, the people who love you and who care about you for who you are. And, like, sometimes people who do self-harm to themselves, it's actually because somebody's bullying them or because something's happening, but they say that just, like, I know this somebody told me this, and I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? And they said, I like the pain. And honestly,
that they're numb to it.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
honestly, like, that's a really bad sign, and if you're thinking that, then you should definitely stop, because that means you might be killing nerves in your body, you might be with the cuts and stuff like that, and when you're harming yourself. So if you're doing that, just please stop, because, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth the pain, it's not worth the time, it's not worth losing a part of yourself. It's not definitely worth losing you, because, you know, somebody is always caring for you, someone always loves you somewhere. And I know sometimes it may not seem like that, but it is true. It definitely is. So
yeah. Now, I just want to close it off. Like, this is my last statement. Just remember one thing. What goes around comes around. If somebody's bullying you, eventually, something's going to happen to them that's going to open up their eyes, and it's going to be bad. And, like, I'm not saying, like, you should try to inflict something bad to happen on them. What I'm saying is that eventually all that hurt is going to inflict back onto them, and that's going to be their fault. And you're not going to be, you won't have to feel bad. You'll pass them one day and they'll have a homeless sign up, and you won't have to feel bad. You won't have to do anything. You'll just sort of know that was that guy who was bullying me when in 4th grade, and he bullied a bunch of other people as he got older, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, and and if you're happy and if you're nice to people, and if you get bullied and you're nice to your friends and stuff, your friends will come back and help you. Like, I know people, like even Connor, he helps me when people are getting bullied. If you're nice to somebody will, like that, somebody who you were nice to will be nice to you. Can you shut up?
Yeah, it's like one of those things where if you do a favor for somebody, they'll do a favor back to you, and that favor might be saving your life. Like when you're cutting or something, and they're there to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and like they're the one you text hundreds of people, and they're the one person to respond, and that's because you.
The people who like text first.
Yeah, and that's because you picked up their books. You were their friend when they weren't feeling the best, and it's always a good sign when you have people like that.
Yep, so that's pretty much all we wanted to talk about on this topic. It took 2 parts and almost 30 minutes, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, share our videos for more.
Yeah, please tell your friends about us, because if more people see these videos, then eventually
we'll help more people.
Yeah, we'll help more people, and we'll make people's days better, and more people's days better, and that's what I do.
That's what counts. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you later.
Peace.